Well, good morning, Herman. Thanks for joining us today here in the green room.
Hey, thanks for having me, Ray.
So, today we have Hermann Gonzalez. He is the music director and conductor of what is the name of your group?
The Golden Gate Park Band,
The Golden
around
Gate Park.
since 1882.
It started in 1882. Wow.
Can you believe it?
So tell me how you got started with this, not the resume version, like the real version.
I guess it was in 2017. They were looking for a new director, so I applied and I auditioned and played and then conducted, and they chose somebody else, and then he quit, and then they did the auditions all over again, and then this time I was one of the finalists, and then they chose me as the associate conductor, and then the guy they chose as first moved to Miami, and they asked me to take over, so I did, and here I am with, in year 3 of leading the group. It's exciting, it's fun.
Yeah. What's the most exciting part of it for you?
Being able to play music, a 90-minute concert with only a 60-minute rehearsal with professional musicians, and, they're a
60
lot of
minute.
fun, and it's the rehearsal is hilarious, but when we get down to, business at the concert, they just sound great, all this park band music.
How is it that you have only 60 minutes to rehearse?
Well, the musicians are, part of the, musicians union,
Yeah?
and the contract is so many hours. So we have a 1-hour rehearsal, an hour for break
Uh,
for lunch, and then the concert for 90 minutes.
okay,
And
that
then
makes
if we go
sense.
further than that, then it's gonna cost us just a little bit more
Eh
money to pay all the musicians.
yes, it's monetary. But,
Yes.
I have to say, it's amazing how quickly and it's the same experience I've had the same experience as musicians good musicians can learn things so quickly. It's just amazing to me.
Yeah, and we send out PDFs of all the music and the
Yeah.
order and some instructions
Yeah.
beforehand so that they can look at it. Most of the people, you know, make a conscientious effort of being prepared, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. The band, according to the audience, the band has never sounded better, and, we strive to sound better every single week.
And so you play in what is it called? Spreckels? Is that right?
Yeah, the Spreckels Temple of Music,
Spreckels, yep.
otherwise known as the band shell between the Young Museum and the Academy of Sciences.
In Golden Gate Park
Right,
in San Francisco. It's beautiful. I mean, I've been there many times. It's such a beautiful venue, so peaceful and grand at the same time.
right, and
Really.
and then when the weather is perfect, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I always tell people to, bring layers because you never know.
Yes, especially that area of San Francisco because it's kind of not protected at all from the fog just a couple miles away
Yeah.
there on the
Some
ocean.
mornings I get there about 8 o'clock in the morning to set up stuff, and it could be foggy and plenty of dew, and it's kinda depressing because, the the number of people that come to watch us is relative to what the weather is like.
Oh, yeah.
So but all of a sudden, a lot of times at noon or 12:30, the sun starts to come out, and then it starts to warm up, and it's just the perfect afternoon for a
Yeah.
concert.
Yeah.
So you never know.
You never know. It can be absolutely beautiful there, or like you say, it can be wet and foggy, and it can be wet and foggy 1 minute and then beautiful the next. So what do you think so the band has been around since what, 1880 what?
In 1882, this is our 144th season. We play 24 concerts during the year from the end of April to the end of September, and every single concert is unique and different. So if you come to 3 concerts, you're gonna hear 3 completely different programs. We feature guest artists to come and play with us, and a lot of times members in the band volunteer to play, solos with the band.
Mm.
that's always a lot of fun. Actually, in on when is it? June 14th, we're gonna have a concert entitled Trombonology, and we're gonna feature the trombones in a lot of the tunes that we've done. We did a we did a trumpet palooza a couple of years ago, and which was a lot of fun, and so we're gonna try to match that with our great trombone players in the band.
Oh, great. I love the sound of those brass instruments. So
Yeah.
wonderful. So did I read I think somewhere that you started going to these concerts when you were a kid? Is that
Oh,
right?
yeah, I grew up in Pacifica, and, we would m my mom would insist on us getting out on Sundays, so my dad loaded up the car, and we'd go to Golden Gate Park.
S
After a while, you know, they went to different parks, but I remember us going to Golden Gate Park several times
Wow.
and
That must
listening
be
to that.
something to now be, the conductor for the group.
It
Yeah,
is it is pretty trippy, I have to say.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So what do you think keeps the band going after all these years? How's it been able to continue for 140, some odd years?
I think it's the dedication of the musicians. You know, all these, you know, the 30 musicians are, like I said, they're professional musicians, but they also love band music.
Mhm.
They love performing music, and the more of a professional you are, the less you like rehearsals. So, you know, it's a draw for really good players to know that they're only gonna rehearse for 60 minutes to play a 90-minute concert. And a lot of times, we don't even rehearse some of the things. A lot of the marches, we don't rehearse.
Yeah,
We just play them straight on.
yeah. Wow.
But, the you know, we're a 501(c)(3). I say that we're a 501(c)(3) in survival mode, hoping to turn into a thrive mode, and that's one of the reasons why we're talking to people like you. But
Great.
we have a regular audience every week. You know, we take a poll, raise your hand if you've never been to a concert, and a few people raise their hand, and then, you know, how many of you are regulars? And you can see, you know, 60, 70, 80 people out in the audience raising their hand, and it's fun to meet these people before and after the concert as well.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, the regular audience, you know, band members enjoying what they do, I think keeps this band going. And it's an important part of the culture of San Francisco. That's
Mhm.
why they call us the soul of the city these days.
Yeah, yeah. So there's so many wonderful traditions in our city of San Francisco. It's
Yeah.
like the smallest big city in the world. I like to there's so many different wonderful traditions and things happening, and this is one of them.
Yes, there's always something to do.
Mhm.
One of the things that we do for the programs is we invite cultural groups from, from around the Bay Area. And actually this week we're doing a Polish culture celebration. At the end of the month, we're doing Armenian culture. We have a Pride celebration in June. We also have a Juneteenth concert in June. What else? And we also do the Scottish celebration. We do the we invite an Irish dance troupe as well. We have this huge Ukrainian celebration on August 23rd,
Mm.
and then we celebrate the Spanish culture with a flamenco group, and the Mexican celebration with a ballet folclórico mexicano with a group that we've partnered with for quite a long time. And this year, we're gonna do a German day that we haven't done in a really, really long time.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be at the end of September. So you know, we embrace the different cultures in the city,
Yeah.
and we celebrate many of them. We always have these board meetings about, well, what about this other culture? What about that other culture? And we're trying to include a few more. cultural celebrations because those are probably the meat and potatoes of the organization,
Mhm.
and that's one of the things that has kept this band going for as long as it's been
Mm.
going. Because
That's
because
great.
they embrace new cultural groups, whereas, a lot of times new cultural groups are, shunned upon. There's a lot of racism when a new group comes in,
Yeah.
but with our programs, we help these groups, um, be a part of our community.
Yeah. That's a wonderful idea and a good thing to be committed to. I've always wondered what is it that a conductor does that the audience may not realize?
Well, there are 2 sides of that story. Some people think that, people don't need the conductor and because the musicians just play the music, and and then other people say, "Well, the conductor really shapes the music."
Mhm.
Talk to composers, they say, "Well," and you ask them, "Well, how much of the music that you put on the page is part of the music?" And they usually say, a lot of times they say, "It's about 30 or 40%. The other 60% is up to the musicians, and even up to 20 or 30% on how the conductor waves his arms and shows expressions and with his with his postures and his movements."
Yeah.
There's this one trumpet player in the band that, when we get together, I kinda look at him and go, I can't believe what we're doing here today." He goes, "Well, man, chill out because really with this band, you're pretty much herding cats." And then when he said that to me, I said, "Okay, all right." It's it's an impossible task, but you just keep at it. You just keep on working on the process, and then it just happens.
Now they're looking at the music on the sheet, but they're also and peripherally, they're watching you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we encourage musicians to put the music stand in between halfway in between me and them so that they can see me and the music at the same time.
Yeah. Because the conductor can decide when the music swells or how long a quarter note actually is, or if we want to actually play a half note in that spot instead of what's written, or there's so many different things you can decide to do, right?
Yeah, you help them with articulations,
Yeah.
the direction of the line.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, you know, uh, you help them with the balance. If somebody's too loud, you give them the hand to play a little bit softer.
Yeah.
Somebody's not playing loud enough, you kinda look at them and then you give me
Oh,
a
I've
little more,
seen that.
please,
I've
if you
seen
would."
that. I've seen
Yeah,
conductors do that. "Ah, come on, a little louder." Ah,
and then
okay.
when they're sounding great, a big smile on your face, and you just keep on trekking through.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you play any instruments yourself?
I'm a trumpet player,
Oh, right. How
and
did when
actually
did you start playing?
last week, our opening day, we played Bugler's Holiday, and I played 3rd trumpet on that trumpet trio, so I play every once in a while with the band, and it's kinda fun.
Yeah. Do you have like, a substitute conductor when you're playing, or do you just wing it?
One of the trumpet players is a conductor too, so I had him conduct
Oh, okay.
while we did the trio. I've
Right.
conducted and played a solo at the same time.
Oh,
Sometimes that works, uh,
yeah.
when they don't need much of a conductor.
I see. Mhm. Mhm. And what's it like playing outdoors? Is that different than being indoors?
It is because because the sound dissipates, there's no it doesn't the the indoor, ambiance is not there, but the band shell has got great acoustics,
Mhm.
and, I'll tell you a secret what we do also, just don't tell anybody,
Okay.
is we
Well, everyone's gonna hear. Here we go. Here comes the secret.
and so the Mark, the gentleman that records the music, plugs into the PA, and there's just a bit of presence from the microphones into the PA, and that
Mhm.
helps us a little bit.
Yeah,
It's not super loud, and you it's really hard to notice,
yeah,
but that does make a difference, especially with music that we're playing that is soft and melodic.
right.
That music's really fun to play, and the band plays all that stuff pretty expressively.
Yeah,
And when I first started, the audiences would complain, "Well, you shouldn't play soft music because we can't hear it."
right, right.
But uh, once we started to use the microphones and bring up the sound just a little bit,
Yep.
we're not getting those complaints anymore.
Yeah, it
So
makes it be people are used to things being a little louder now than they were maybe, 100 years ago.
I'd say so, yeah.
I mean, I do musical theater, and then if the actors are mic'd, the band has to have a little bit of support as well, otherwise, you just can't hear.
Yeah.
It does make a big difference. So
There's a lot that goes into each and every concert,
yeah.
and it's great how it comes together every single week.
Well, it's good to have somebody who knows how to use the soundboard really well and understands sound and can, modulate these things too, right?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
and we have actually, one of the musicians in the front row controls the soundboard, and
Oh, wow.
so every once in a while, she might
Turns
stop playing and then run out in the audience just to hear how it sounds and then comes back.
Oh, interesting.
We are self-sufficient, but it would be great if we could find a couple of people help us set up and put things away, because the 30 of us bring everything out from the dungeon of the backstage and set everything up, and then we put everything back. So a couple of stagehands would be great if we
Yeah.
could do that. But like I said, ah, the, our budget just doesn't stretch that far.
How long has that venue been there?
Isn't
It's
it?
pretty it's
I
pretty
think
old,
it's a
right?
100 years, isn't it?
Oh
100
my
years,
god. I
101 years. I think it's 101st season. I'm not exactly sure.
well, I know that what is it called? I'm so sorry. The place you play.
Spreckels Temple of
Spreckle. I
Music.
I mean, I remember it when I was a little boy being there. So,
Yeah, it's been
and that
around.
was almost 100 years ago. So,
It it seems like it's getting closer to 100 every year.
Yeah, so the dungeon must be quite something. I can only
Um,
imagine.
yeah, we share it with the groundskeepers,
Yeah. Oh,
and they
wow.
have these cages where we can lock our stuff up.
I see.
And,
Neat. So what makes your group different from something like a symphony orchestra or the Boston Pops or somebody like that?
well, the Boston Pops is an orchestra
Yeah.
and mostly made up of strings. A band is made up of wind players, woodwinds, brass, and we have 2 percussionists.
Do you have any string players or is it all
Oh, we have an electric bass player
Oh, wow.
that that the presence of Steve and his bass playing is there's this presence to the bass that you don't realize is there because of the electric bass.
Mhm.
So, yeah, he's the only string player.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's important to have a bass in, even though you might not consciously hear everything, it really keeps a lot of the undertone, right, in the rhythm.
Yeah, it's the foundation of the chord.
Yeah. Yeah. So, gosh, you've been in music for what, 50 years or more?
I started playing trumpet in the 6th grade, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, have you changed as an artist over that time, or how has it gone for you?
Uh,
What's been your path?
it's 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 taken me an entire lifetime to have the confidence to play and to conduct without being nervous.
Ah, yes, yes.
So the musician's self-deprecating syndrome it's brutal, you know,
Oh god,
you are
believe me, I
always
know.
your worst critic.
Yep.
Uh, I think over the years, I'm I'm finally I'm finally able to figure out how to not be so nervous all the time
Yeah,
and, telling myself, "I can do this. I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be great." And then
yeah,
when you've got 30 people around going, "This is gonna be great," "Don't worry, man. We've got you. This tune is gonna sound great. Don't worry about it."
yeah,
You've got that support system from all these people.
mhm. So, is there anything about music that still surprises you? Do you find new things still?
It's fun going through all the different libraries that we have, and I find something that I've never heard of before, and you kinda look at it, and then you program it, and then other band members go, "I've never played this piece before," or maybe 1 or 2 people have played it.
Yeah,
"This is a great piece," "Where'd you find this?" "Oh," you you just keep searching
yeah,
until you find something new.
make new discoveries, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do I used to perform in musicals at a company called 42nd Street Moon, who's not I don't they're not in really doing anything anymore since COVID, but their whole thing was to find old musicals from New York or Broadway that didn't make it or and they would have to they'd have to go like into libraries and find the old sheet music and the book and stick it all together and somehow create something that happened 60, 80 years ago.
Yeah,
um
there's a lot of failures out there.
yeah. And there's a lot of failures that are really good, it's just that the
Yeah, that are
timing
not
was
yeah, not bad, yeah, exactly.
yeah, there's the timing was just not right or something. So who's your favorite composer to conduct?
There are so many, come on.
Not answerable, huh?
Yeah, I always say that an outdoor concert is not a success without some kind of Gershwin,
Ah, yeah, Gershwin.
and Gustav Holst is something that somebody who has been able to write band music over the years
Mhm,
that has passed the test of time. California composer Frank Ticheli has written a lot of things, and his music speaks to me as well.
right.
There are a lot of classics that are written for orchestra that when transcribed for band sound pretty good,
Mhm.
but then again, there are others that don't. If we had to play Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, I think we would lose audience members. It's just not the same. It's just not the same.
Yeah,
But, the classical favorites, we play a lot of them. We play a lot of marches, a lot of jazz and pop music, the movie soundtracks.
yeah.
Sometimes I do, sing-alongs, or sometimes I do name that tune, so we'll play a medley of 6 or 7 tunes, and at the end of each tune, I stop, and then I turn around, and then the audience shouts out the name of the tune.
That's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Um,
Great. So, can you review the dates here so that people know and it's all free, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the that's the whole deal about, the Spreckels Temple of Music is they built that for the Golden Gate Park Band, and they also said that every concert held there is gonna be free.
Mhm.
So our season runs from the end of April to the end of September every Sunday at 1 o'clock. We also have 4th of July, and this year it's on a Saturday, same time, 1 o'clock. We also have a Labor Day concert on a Monday, so we have that Saturday, or excuse me, that Sunday on the 6th, and then again the very next day on Monday for Labor.
Wonderful. And all the information is on, goldengateparkorchestra.org, is that
It's
correct?
so close. Old
Oh,
GoldenGateParkBand.org.
sorry.
That's alright.
goldengateparkband.org. Okay.
Thanks, yeah.
Yeah. Had the wrong word in my head. GoldenGateParkBand.org for all the information about the performance dates and anything else you want to learn.
Yeah, and then
Right,
there's bios of all the musicians, and a little history on the band,
right.
uh, and actually we got a it's our website just got uh, a new look.
Revamped. Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks great.
revamp
Yeah,
finally.
yeah,
So we're excited about that, and
yeah.
I don't know,
Looks
hoping
really good.
we can
I
find more people to come to every concert. A
yeah,
lot of people tell me I'm crazy when I say I want 500 people at every concert.
that'd be
Uh,
nice.
yeah, it would be really nice. You know, in the 20s and the 30s, you'd see pictures of band concerts, and there were just hundreds and hundreds of people out there.
Wow.
But then again, there were no cell phones and
You weren't competing with everything else.
no, but
Yeah.
live music, and when it's free, you can't beat it.
No,
And
no, definitely not.
our programs put a smile on your face, and the music is and it's well performed. It's really well performed.
I imagine you just have a lot of people who are walking by and then stop and become
Yeah, that
audience.
yeah, our audiences are regulars, new people that have heard, thanks to uh, podcasts like yours and other
Mhm.
things. And then people that are just walking by, tourists.
Yeah.
We put a lot of our rack cards at the hotels around San Francisco,
Mhm.
and we get some audience from there as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, great. Thanks so much for being on the show today, Herman.
All
I
right.
really enjoyed speaking with you. I've always wondered about the Golden Gate Park Band more. I listened. I didn't know anything about them other than that they were there, and I enjoyed listening.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I talk to a lot of people in San Francisco, and you'd be surprised how many people have never heard of the band.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It blows
Y
me away,
yeah.
even in the Sunset District,
Yeah.
but,
Oh, even right next door, huh? Wow.
yeah, but
Amazing.
I encourage people to come.
Yeah.
I meet a lot of people at the dive bars up in the Sunset,
Great.
and that's how I do most of my audience, not most of it, but
Recruiting, huh?
I do a lot of recruiting for audience members.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show.
All right, thanks for having me.
You
Appreciate
bet.
it.